It's your boy Big Vern. It's the bottom of the hour. Y'all rocking with the best. I know, that's why y'all here. Before we get into it, we're gonna hit you with a rap break. Y'all know how we do. Give me a beat. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. It's your boy Big Vern. Coming to you live from the Amp Stupid Studio. We pushing a new album this month. The Clipse, Pusha T, and Malice. Let God sort them out. In stores now. Get it where you legally consume music, whether it be Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. My personal favorite on the track is Chains and Whips with Kendrick Lamar, POV with Tyler the Creator, So Be It, Inglorious Bastards with Ab Lever, So Far Ahead with Pharrell Williams, Let God Sort 'Em Out, Chandeliers with Nas is probably one of the wildest tracks. I mean, just from the way the transition and the beats pick up, and Nas is always gonna bring the rhymes. I'm like, wow, the AR in the Saints mouth? Come on, bro. Again, we actively listen to hip hop around here. And by the grace of God, that one's heavy too. Clipse, Let God Sort 'Em Out. Pusha T and Malice. In stores now. Yo, shout out to the Clipse, Pusha T, Malice, dope album. Let God Sort 'Em Out. Like I said, it was fire. So, over the weekend, Superman dropped. Now, this is a fair warning. If you don't want me to spoil this movie for you, then you need to head to the exits. Okay? I'm going to give you about 5 seconds to get out of Dodge because, yeah, you want to see this film. Okay? But for those of you all who don't give a shit, or for those of you who have already seen this, it just left a lot to be desired, in my humble opinion. Now, I don't know why they went back to the Superman with the red cape and the underwear. I just don't. And I think America is not America, but I think the comic book universe, for the people who love the graphic novels, yeah, that was the 80s, you know? And if y'all dress this up as a prequel, chasing the Christopher Reeves angle, okay. But for the rest of us, I just didn't feel it. I mean, this pussy ass Superman right here? Nah, bro. It ain't gonna get it. And to be honest with you, the whole time I'm sitting in there, I'm like, we need Zack Snyder back. The Man of Steel. If you thought that this Superman movie was better than the Man of Steel, you need your head examined. Big time. You need your head examined big time. You know? I don't know. Because, I mean, you look at James Gunn, and his highest rated movie, as far as Rotten Tomatoes goes, is Suicide Squad 2. And everybody kept trying to say that movie was trash. Well, all the Marvel stands. And self-admittedly, I'm not a Marvel guy. I just find it comical that people even buy into that garbage. It's just tongue-in-cheek stuff to me, you know. And then people say, oh my Marvel tells a story. Shut up with your talking points. You just, look, nobody dies in Marvel Comics. You're in the middle of Manhattan and in an alien invasion. You mean to tell me nobody got killed? Nobody got hurt? Nobody had a sprained ankle? The Incredible Hulk took an alien spaceship and put it through a skyscraper and nobody died? Come on, bro. They even had it to where the people who you thought was dead actually came back. What is this? Again, just goofy. And if you are a person who's blessed to know me in real life, I have nothing but DC Comics laying around right now in my eyesight. I have a Batman graphic novel. I've got 2 or 3 Justice League comic books, one of the new 52 Supermans. Yeah, I mean, I do this. So to me, I was just like, whatever. Because if I wasn't with my wife, I probably would have walked out on this film. I would have walked out on this film. I think it should have just been called Lex Luthor just doing shit. Lex Luthor doing shit. It's too much dialogue. There's way too many emotions. I mean, Superman's an alien, but now Superman has relationship problems? Come on, bro. And I'm not used to seeing Superman lose fights. You're talking about the most feared entity in DC. The man is powered by sunlight, impervious to pain. Yeah, you can see him go through buildings and walls, and he's coming right back fighting. That's Superman. This guy's got broken ribs. He's all sitting down, getting beat up half the time. I honestly don't think he won a fight in that. Get the fuck out of here. The Green Lantern tried way too hard to be funny. Off-base jokes. It wouldn't land at a middle school church picnic. It was bad. It was way too random. It was way too random. Which had me confused because Guy Gardner, the dude who plays the Green Lantern, plays that character in that form of the Green Lantern. And Injustice, Gods Among Us, he's dead. He dies in multiple versions of these DC comic books. Stop me. Stop. This is starting to anger me. Because in comedy, you can always go from clean to dirty, but you can never go from dirty to clean. Once you've seen it, the audience wants to see it. If you're making these movies as some sort of prequel before the Man of Steel, and this is an alternate universe, lead with that. Lead with that. Because this version of Superman is a complete pussy. And if this is what you wanted, James Gunn, to make this, because as a kid, this was you, and the whole punk rock 80s montage, you keep that shit for yourself, dog. It might be cool for Star-Lord to get his ass whooped in the opening sequence of a film, but not Superman, bro. Not Superman. Clark Kent he ain't going down like that. Just a lot of things don't add up. You got Hawk Girl in here who screams annoyingly every time she goes to fight or do anything. She's like, ah! I'm like, really? Is that necessary? Every time she's screaming. But what's also crazy is she got a whole husband that wasn't even in the film. Yeah, she's married. And they never bought it up. They never bought any of this up. She's just kicking it in the Hall of Justice, but I don't even know what they call that. Lois Lane just obviously walks in there. Come on, man. This gotta make sense to somebody somewhere. Again, random shit. Now, again, if you a comic book nerd like myself, then you were not pleased at all with what you saw. But if you are a person who just wants to go to a movie, you probably would like it. If you're going to go ahead and suspend reality and just get caught up in the family aspect, because it does have a telling family story. Now, a couple of things that I did like was the Fortress of Solitude, how it was all fixed to Superman's DNA, and then it would come up out of the ground in the Arctic Circle, and then he had his robots, and they would actually turn him around, and he would actually harvest the sun. They could show him there and things of that nature. So that was dope. That was dope. Some of the special effects in there, second to none. I think when they were going through the pocket universe and everything like that, I thought that was dope. How they showed that Mr. Terrific, he's pretty much the saving grace of this movie. him fighting with those T-spheres and pretty much, being just a character's character. Like I wouldn't mind watching a Mr. Terrific series. That's how high I was on his character. Now I know you had a bunch of nonsense out there in the Black universe, because that's what happens. Most people won't go see a movie. They'll try and bootleg it. They'll try and steal it. And then they'll see a clip that they don't like and be like, why are they trying to make him sound like he's some sort of 70s man? Blah, blah, blah. That's bullshit. He didn't do that. He was a pessimistic guy who looks down on people who don't have his same intellect. That's the same shit we do it every day as people. I'm sorry. It just seemed like phony outrage. But Mr. Fantastic was really, really good in this movie. I just didn't get the timepiece because even though newspapers are still in print, they're really a dying medium. And you got all of these young people around. I don't know in what time period this is set, but they're texting people. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. They're texting people, but you got a newsroom full of young people. I'm like, I'm confused. Because young people don't read newspapers. I bet you any amount of money you can go to any graduation class, any college, any town, and ask them, hey, are you going to go work for your newspaper in your city? They will look you straight in the face and go, hells no. What's wrong with you? It just didn't hit the mark for me. It missed completely. And it wasn't because Superman was losing fights. And the story just didn't tie together. And at the end, it had this like aha moment. Because Lex Luthor was able to get into the Fortress of Solitude because he had Superman's DNA. Like, where did you get his DNA? I got it off a hair from a fight. What fight? You have to show people the diabolical plan, but you at least got to show them what led up to the diabolical plan. And that's why I said this one should have been Lex Luthor just does shit. Now, he was the best Lex Luthor since Gene Hackman. I can be real about that. Because he, up until that point, Kevin Spacey was, but I'm not going to go ahead and bring that guy's name up. But yes, the cat who did Lex Luthor, he was the best Lex Luthor since Gene Hackman. He way outshined Kevin Spacey. He wasn't snarky, he wasn't nerdy or a sniveling piece of shit. He was ruthless, he was rich, and he knew what he wanted. And there's nothing wrong with that. But as for this movie, my God, this was bad. Oh, this was bad. I'm like, come on. At least if you're going to put the Justice League in there, you got to have Wonder Woman. You got to have Shazam. You got to have Captain Marvel. Come on, man. I wanted to see more. I hoped to see more, and it didn't live up to the action. It leaned a lot into heart because Superman's out here saving squirrels. He's out here trying to save dogs. He's getting beat up left and right. Come on, man. He's laying in a crater in the street because he got thrown from the sky. And then a guy walks up on him who gave him some free food. Like, you remember me, Superman? I gave you some falafel cakes. And he was like, yeah, but you want to get out of here, man. It's getting dangerous. Bruh, come on, dog. This was bad. There's just no way around it. This was awful. Now, you got some people who will sit up here and go to the cake for him. Oh, it was a good story and blah, blah, blah. I didn't go there for that. I went there to see Superman whoop some ass. I didn't go to see Superman fight Bowser in Metropolis. I was not pleased. I was not pleased. Again, if you're going for the heartfelt Superman with emotions, trying to go ahead and deal with his insecurities and relationship problems, whatever the fuck that is, If you went to watch Superman whoop ass and get down, you were sadly mistaken, bro. Because this ain't that film. This ain't that film. It leaned way too much into politics like it is now, as far as wars and conflicts and rich people being able to walk in and out of the federal government and get contracts and be contractors and trying to take over a country through means of war. It really just had me like, what are you trying to tell me? I sat there really for almost 2 hours trying to figure out what the message was. Pocket universe. The world. And then when he was busted and he was called out on his shit, and then he came out that Lex Luthor was the mastermind behind all of this, and they offered Superman an apology and they called him a traitor, and they said that Lex Luthor was the worst thing on 2 feet, he started crying. Man, I knew I was in for a shit show when that dog showed up. When he's like, "Krypto, take me home." It's like, come on, man. Then he was sitting there trying to get and then come find out, Krypto ain't even his dog. Krypto is his cousin, Kyra's dog. And Kyra's some sort of party girl. She's out drinking and partying on planets, and she leaves her dog as a stray, and Superman always has to go take in her dog. Again, I don't know what any of this shit was about. I'm gonna have to say it's a no. James Gunn, this is an L. You have to hold that L. And since you've been the head of that studio, it's been a lot of bullshit that done hit out there. I like the Suicide Squad too. One of my favorite quotes is the weasel is drowned, because the weasel didn't know how to swim. And that shit was funny. However, if you're gonna do offbeat, quirky stuff, yeah, that would be you. If we want dark graphic novels and people in legitimate fear, we're going to have to get Zack Snyder. You're going to have to go ahead and admit it that, yeah, you fucked up. And this one was a big fuck up. So, however, I know you're going to light me up in the comments. Have at it. Again, if you are listening to this pod, get in the comments. Let us know, did we get it right? What did we leave out? This is Big Vern. We talk back. We'll be back. Top of the hour. This is your boy.